Hey, good morning, South Park. How's everybody doing? Hey, as I promised, I'm going to be making a video study guide. Mom and dad, grandmas, granddads, who's ever helping the kids study, thank you very much for your time and effort. What I've done is we have a study guide here, and anything that's on my study guide that's in yellow is what I really want the kids to pay attention to. Now, moms, dads, grandmas, granddads, everybody has a paper copy of these notes. They either have it on their computer or some students chose to write it out by hand, but they have it either way. If they have the electronic copy, anything that was important, I told them to highlight a different color. Like I have this one in yellow, they might have chose a different color. Or if they have a paper copy, I told them to make sure they put a star by it. Does everybody understand? All right, so we're going to go over this for a couple minutes. Make sure that you do study for the test. As of right now, it's scheduled for Thursday, and we'll do a review on Wednesday. And you can use this to study for the test Wednesday night. Keep in mind, during the test on Thursday, no notes are allowed to be used, so it's just you and your mind. All right, very first thing. Matter can be found in three states. Those states are solid, liquid, and a gas. Make sure you know that. I can see that question very easily being asked on the test. Next thing down here. What's the difference? It's the way that the molecules are arranged and the way that they are moved. So a question could be, how are molecules different between each state of matter? The molecules are different because they're arranged differently and how they react against each other or towards each other. All right. For instance, if you have a solid, the molecules there are in a tight formation. Keep in mind, even though it's solid, those molecules are still moving slightly. If it's a liquid, compared to the solid, the molecules are moving. They're actually sliding past each other. They're in constant contact. And if it's a gas, or spread far, far apart from each other. So the easiest way to study for it for a fifth grader, if it's solid, they're nice and tight, right on top of each other. If it's water, they're flowing past each other, if you will. And if it's a gas, they're far, far away from each other. Tilt that down a little bit there. There you go. Okay, how can people have materials go from different states? The easiest way is by heating things or by cooling things. If you heat things or cool things, you will make it change state. Very important to know that for the test. Also, heating and cooling in nature is done by our old friend who's there every day. Kind of like I'm here at the school every day. That sun comes up every day. It's our friend. And it makes sure it does its job 24 hours a day, and it makes sure it takes care of planet Earth here. Very important. I put this down as fact of the day. I don't know if first period got this, but later on when we talk and look at the water cycle, the sunlight is the cause or the reason for the water cycle. It might even say, what is the engine behind the water cycle, and make sure everyone puts down sunlight. All right, everyone good to go there? Next topic, what is a solid? A solid is a material that has mass and takes up space. We know that. Solids can hold their shape because the particles are close together and do not have room to move around. This will definitely be on the test. They hold their shape because they're packed tightly together. But keep in mind, they are still moving slightly. Even though it's a solid, there's still some motion in there. Does everybody understand that? Make sure you get that there. Even in solids, the particles are always in motion. All right? Got you there. Solid particles are very organized, sitting side by side one another, sometimes on top of one another, and this allows them to hold shape. And once again, I cannot stress this, solids, even though they're solid, they're always still moving. Hang on one second, because this is a live taping in front of a live studio audience. Nurse, talk to me. Yep. All right. Bye bye. E. E. It's like an episode of the Different Strokes back in the day. It's taped in front of a live studio audience. Liquid is another source, another state of matter. Excuse me. In liquid water, water molecules move faster than they would in solid ice. Obviously, you can think solid ice. It's a hard, solid structure versus a river or flowing water. All right. Once again, in water molecules and liquid water are constantly moving, sliding past, and bumping into each other. In other words, they are in a flow. This explains why liquids don't have a definite shape, but instead take the shape of their container. Definitely will be on the test. The question is, what state of matter does not have, or what state of matter takes on the shape of the container it's being held in? I can ask a question something like that. And obviously, if we have solid liquid, everyone knows what's the last state of matter. That is exactly right. It is gas. And moms and dads, just for the record, if anyone needed a computer copy of the notes because they were absent, I had a stack of them on my desk. If they took it, great. If they did not, they're responsible for that. All right. Make sure that they ask me if they're absent, either they were sick or they had academic games or they were on vacation. They're responsible to get the notes from the fifth grade teachers. We can't track everybody down. Everybody has their notes available. And even if they were absent, they have all their notes right here on this video. All right. Gas molecules fill the container that they're in, whether it's in your balloon or your classroom. All right, the water cycle. Here we go. If you go from a solid, if you think of ice, if you go from a solid ice, then you go to liquid, then you go to gas. What is needed? Heat is needed. If you go from gas, then it goes from a liquid. Then it goes to solid ice. What happened? Heat is removed. Some way, somehow, you will see this. And in nature, heat is from the sun. You will see these three things somewhere on that test. All right. Water cycle gets its name because it cycles through the different states of matter. Very important. When a substance moves from one state to another, it is called a phase change. So you could say, hey, what do you call it? You can say it went from a solid to a liquid, but the technical term is a phase change. Heat is a form of energy. This one right here is basically saying when you add heat to something, the molecules move faster and faster and faster. When you remove the heat, they tend to move slower. We repeated this a couple times during the last week and a half. Actually, almost 2 weeks now. So make sure the kids know when you add heat, the molecules move faster. When you remove heat, the molecules move slower. All right. Heating and cooling molecules cause phase change. I repeated that a couple times in this different form. All right. 4 types of precipitation. Snow, rain, sleet, and hail. Snow, rain, sleet, and hail. Also, great question is, what is any form of water from the sky? You better know it's precipitation. You better know that. Moms, dads, we hammered this one pretty hard during the last week and a half too. Rain, it's water. Know this. Keep in mind, rain, it's frozen when it's in the clouds. As it drops to the surface, it melts, turns into rain. Snow, it's frozen from the clouds to the surface. Sleet, it is frozen that it melts to water, but it unfortunately freezes because the ground temperature of the crust or planet Earth is below 32 degrees at that particular location, and it freezes automatically. Hail, it's frozen as it falls to planet Earth. It melts, but there's an updraft that kicks it back up to the clouds where it refreezes, adds water to it, keeps doing this circular formation. eventually gets too heavy for the updraft to keep it up, or the updraft simply is removed and they fall to planet Earth, causing a lot of damage. We looked at examples of all that on some YouTube videos, so the kids know the rain, snow, sleet, and hail. They know this pretty well, and it will definitely be on the test. All right. Water has some very interesting properties. For example, we know that water is one of the few substances that expands when it freezes. You will see that one on the test. And as water moves through the ground or bodies of organisms, it can carry vitamins and minerals that have dissolved in it. So, the question is, hey, water can carry two things throughout your body. What are those two things? One would be minerals. The other one would be vitamins. All right. This is the quick interactive hands-on thing that we did where we made some drinks. Mixture is combined when you take two or more substances are combined. The ocean is a mixture combining salt and water. We did this with water and Hi-C drink packets, and we made a mixture. All right. At the tail end of the notes, these are the scientific investigations that we did. You can look at those, Mom and Dad. Hey, keep in mind, if you need me, I'm here, 412-655-3111, extension 3105. I'm here to help. Hey, make sure you study and go Eagles. All right, I'm signing off. Bye-bye. Make sure you study. Thanks, Mom, Dads, Grandmas, Grandparents for helping them out. Bye-bye.